Hello students, welcome to class 11th session of English. In the previous sessions, we completed the chapter 2, We Are Not Afraid to Die If We Can All Be Together, written by Gordon Cook and Alan East. I hope all of you have understood the chapter that was taken in the previous session of your class 11th, and all of you have already gone through the chapter, the reading you people have done. If we talk about, these were the different characters in the chapter. The narrator was there, his wife Mary, his son Jonathan, 6-year-old, Suzanne, his daughter, 7-year-old, and then two crewmen, Larry Wiesel and Herr Segler. This story, if we talk about, was basically about the narrator and his family, including his wife and two children, who decided to imitate the historical round the world voyage which was earlier undertaken by James Cook in 1768. I hope all of you remember this thing. If we talk about the theme of this story was how optimism, determination and strong willpower raise one's spirits and help them to overcome all forms of stressful situation. So, in this story basically we saw that how the narrator along with his wife and two children and beside them two crewmen, they all were going through the difficult situation, but because of the inspiration that he got from his children, he was able to overcome all the problems and emerged as the hero of the story. And if we talk about the learning outcome of today's session, so after this session, students will be able to understand the language and they will be able to write answers based on their text. So in today's session we are going to take question answers based on same chapter. So all of you open up your page number 13, and you must be remembering when we started with the chapter, in the beginning few expressions were given, the phrases were given, and it was asked to you all to find out or infer their meaning from the context. So we are starting with the same today. All of you will understand it and will try to find out the answer on your own. I hope many of you have already find it out, so that's really very good. Just match your answer whether it is correct or not. Okay, the first one is honing our seafaring skills. So what is the meaning of that? Quickly, those who have not done, just write down in front of the same your text within your textbook only. Then second is ominous silence. Write down the meaning. Mayday calls. I hope you understood it now. Pinpricks in the vast ocean means, I told you the literal meaning of pinpricks, and here it has been used in the phrase, so the meaning will be different, but when you have gone through the chapter you might have got the idea that what is the meaning of pinpricks in the vast ocean. Then the next is tousled head. Okay, I hope all of you have written the meaning in front of that, whatever you have understood through the text. So now we'll discuss the answer with you and you have to match it with your own answer whether you have written correct or not, and wherever the rectification is required you need to do it. The first one, if we talk about honing our seafaring skills, it means efforts made by the author and his wife to perfect or sharpen their seafaring skills. You must be remembering from the last 16 years they were practicing over that. Remember, they were practicing for this voyage. Now the next one is ominous silence. Here the silence refers to an impending danger. Impending means which is pending, which is supposed to come in future. Please note it down in your textbook only. Then the next one is Mayday calls. Mayday calls are radio telephonic words which signal aircrafts or ships stuck in a disastrous situation. Clear? So these are the signal which are sent for the rescue. Another one, pinpricks in the vast ocean. This phrase, if we talk about, expresses the search for two small islands in the vast ocean. Next one, if we talk about tousled head, it refers to hair in disarray or the disarranged hair of the author's son Jonathan. You must be knowing, when we were doing chapter in that also it was mentioned that when the boy met his father at that time, his hair were in the disarranged manner. Now all of you open up your page number 18 of your textbook. Here after the chapter, another on page number 18, the questions are given understanding the text. The first one is list the steps taken by the captain. Under that, the first one is given to protect the ship when rough weather begin. Second, to check the flooding of the water in the ship. And I hope all of you remember who was the captain. Yes, the captain is the narrator of the story. Here you need to find out the answer, that how he tried to protect the ship when rough weather began. All the things you will definitely are going to get in your textbook only. Quickly, each and everyone mark it. Move to your previous pages and mark each and everyone quickly with the pencil. You have to mark the first part of your question number 1. That what different steps were taken by him just to protect the ship. You must be knowing now what he did with the mast and what was done with jib. So all these things you need to mention here. I hope all of you have marked it. You have got it on in the beginning pages only. Okay. Next is what he did to check the flooding of the water in the ship. Here also you are going to get the answer. You are going to get the answer within your textbook only. So quickly all of you move back to the previous pages fast. Beta, if I am asking each and everyone, it means each and everyone will find out the answer right now. Is it clear? So please make sure whenever you are sitting while you are watching the video, you must have your all the study material with you. Quickly mark what he did to check the flooding of the water in the ship, and what were the how he did it and what steps were taken by him. You must be remembering where it is given. I hope many of you have got the answer. Rest of you also quickly find it out. Yes, and mark it within your textbook. Now we'll discuss the answer, and you simply have to match whether you have marked it correct or not. So let's move to the answer. So if we talk about the first part, in order to protect the ship from rough weather, the captor decided to slow it down. So this was the first action. He decided to slow down the speed of ship, and that is the very common action taken by the narrator. As if you are riding a bicycle or a scooty, you know that this kind of thing happen if you are very well aware that some obstacle is there in front of you. So which step you are going to take? Obviously you are going to slow it down. So the very obvious or the common step was also taken by the narrator. Then he dropped the storm jib and lashed heavy mooring rope in loop across the stern. And why this kind of action was done? Just to slow down the speed of the ship. Then they doubled, fattened everything and went through their life raft drill. because you must be knowing that when they were going through, or when narrator took all such steps, beside that he also arranged the other things just to protect themselves. Now secondly, if we talk about to check the flooding of water in the ship, what he did, he put waterproof hatch covers across the gaping holes. And what was the reason behind it? Just to divert the water to the side, so that more water could not enter in the ship. And when the two hand pumps blocked and electric pump short circuited, he found another electric pump and connected it to an outpipe and started it, just to remove the excess water from the ship. So these steps were taken by the narrator. I hope all of you have understood it and marked it correctly in your textbook. So that's really very good if you have got your correct answer. Now another question is given, describe the mental condition of the voyagers on 4th and 5th January. I hope all of you have marked this one also and got your answer within your textbook, because simply you need to mention that what was the mental condition of the voyagers on 4th and 5th January. You remember that what came into the mind of the narrator in this situation when the condition was very dangerous and when the narrator became hopeless. So you need to mark those lines only. Quickly move to the previous pages and mark it fast, each and every one. Now we are moving to the answer, and you people have to match it whether you have marked correct or not. You will see that on January 4 and 5, the voyagers felt relieved after rigorous practice of continuous pumping. Means rigorous here means extreme practice of continuous pumping. As you know that the condition was very difficult and they were trying to remove the water from the ship. They had their first meal in almost 2 days. Their respite was short lived, means the rest that they took was for very short period of time, and even they decided to do the rotational work. They faced dangerous situation on January 5. Fear of death loomed large when the narrator was very hopeless. They were under great mental stress. So I hope all of you have already marked the correct answer. Okay, now if the next question we talk about, it is given, describe the shifts in the narration of the events as indicated in the 3 sections of the text, and you have to give a suitable, you have to give the subtitle to each section. Is it clear? So just go through the pages and decide how the chapter can be divided into the 3 events and what subtitle can be given to each section. Quickly, each and everyone just recall the story, that what was the story and what were the different events related to that, what were the different events given in that. Okay, now if we start with the answer, the first section if we talk about, in the first section it opens on a cheerful note. The narrator and his family are all set for their ultimate dream to take up an around the world voyage like Captain James Cook did. They have perfected their seafaring skills. They begin the voyage, and despite of the bad weather, they celebrate Christmas on the Wave Walker. Clear? So this one we have taken as the first section. Now we'll move to the second one. In the second section we can see this part of narration covers the hazards faced by the voyagers. Hazard means the dangers. There is a shift in the narration from cheerful to intense, because in the beginning, in the first section we have seen that they were very cheerful, but slowly and gradually it changed into the tensed one. They find themselves in an extremely fatal and disastrous situation. A huge wave hits their boat and the narrator is thrown overboard. You must be remembering, just find out the same text that is given in your textbook, find out the same lines. Despite getting injured, he maintains his composure, means tried to keep himself calm and applies every possible way to tackle the critical situation. They managed to pump out maximum amount of water out of the boat in about 36 hours, and this was the time when they did not take much rest and the rotational work they decided to do. But as they continue to face bad weather conditions, the narrator loses hope. If we talk about the children, they remain fearless, courageous and optimistic throughout. So in this story basically we have seen that children were more fearless and courageous as well as optimistic as compared to the adult people. And the third section, if we talk about, is the climax of the chapter, where the children provide moral support to the narrator and he continues with his efforts. Because of those children only he was able to get back his courage and he continued with the efforts to save themselves. Under the captaincy of the narrator, they managed to reach Amsterdam, the island Amsterdam. This Amsterdam was their last hope. The narrator proves his seamanship and receives the title of the best daddy and the best captain from his children. The above three section can be subtitled as follows. The first section, if we talk about, it can be taken as Round the World Voyage Begins. The second, the attack of the big wave, or you can decide on your own, just find out, try to use your own notion to give the subtitle to the each section on your own. So this part of the question may vary with my answer, so it's up to you which title you would like to give. Clear? And the third section, if we talk about the ultimate victory or the inspirational something related to the inspiration also can be mentioned here. So it's up to you how you people are going to give the answer, write the answer of this part, but it must match with the given sections. Now comes the another part of the text, that is talking about the text. Okay, the first one under this heading is given, what difference did you notice between the reaction of the adults and the children when faced with danger? So here I hope if you have gone through the chapter, if you have gone through all the session that I have taken, and on your own also you have read the story given in your textbook, so definitely you might be knowing that what was the difference between the reaction of adults and the children. Basically what is expected, that adults are going to be more mature and they should be more courageous and determined as well as with a strong willpower, but in this story the case was totally different. We saw in between the story that how the narrator, being the adult, became hopeless, whereas if we talk about the children, his two children, they were fearless. So this kind of difference I hope all of you are very well aware. So we are going to discuss the same. So we are starting with the answer. And students, one more thing, already you have gone through your 10th standard, so you must be knowing very well, you have appeared for the board examinations, that whenever you are starting with the answer you have to refer your question first. So the intro will be given and then only you are supposed to write the answer. Now whether the answer you are doing for your practice or for the fair notebook, wherever you are writing the answers, always write the intro and then continue with your answer. So there was lot of difference between the way in which the adults and children reacted when they faced danger. So we are talking about the adults first. What they did, the adults lose hope and wait for their end with a heavy heart, because they were in the belief that now they are not going to survive. And if we talk about, this was the time when they were motivated by their children. The children, both the children, one 6-year-old and one 7-year-old, you can see that how young they were, and they offer their moral support to the adults. They display maturity and the tolerance, which was missing in adults. Jonathan's son, the son, if we talk about, expresses his fearlessness and courage when he says that, you remember the title of the story taken from here only, that they are not afraid of dying if they all can be together. So can you imagine, only a 6-year-old child was that much sensible and mature to speak like that, and these words were the only one which proved inspirational and the motivational one for the narrator, and helped him out to come out from this disastrous situation. Secondly, if we talk about the daughter, Suzanne expresses her love and gratitude for her parents by making a greeting card. So you can see how in such a difficult situation also the children were fearless. They were not having any kind of fear, and they were very optimistic, or they were not even bothered that what is going to happen. So, one thing I would like to share here, that all of you are sitting at home due to this pandemic COVID-19, and being a child, if we talk about, you people are also doing such kind of thing for your parents, are you? And I'm sure that most of you are doing this thing. Like if your parent's birthday or any other occasion is there, you people are celebrating it at home only. So you people are also emerging as the inspiration for your parents, that is giving them the courage to fight against this situation. So keep going this way only. And here also in this story we have seen the same kind of situation. She is very strong, and strong enough to not let her parents know about her serious injuries also. She did not want to bother her parents in the times of crisis. So we can see it's not always that children are getting the inspiration from adults. Many times adults are also getting the motivation or inspiration from their children. Another question is given, that how does the story suggest that optimism helps to endure the direst stress? So here you have to find out the expressions from the story which give the suggestion that how optimism can be helpful or can prove fruitful for coming out from any kind of direst stress. Please write down the meaning in your textbook. Direst stress means very extreme stress. If we talk about the answer, optimism is a determination to overcome difficulties, and believe me, your positive attitude can bring the change. It can create the difference. Try to look at the things in the positive way only, instead of taking it in the negative one. It raises one's spirits and helps one overcome stress and difficulty with ease. In this story we talk about, a story displays courage and optimism throughout. Survival happens only because of the optimistic struggle that the family carries on with. The level of perseverance in the author rises when Jonathan says, perseverance means when you are able to fight against the difficult situation. And what were the words of Jonathan? that we are not afraid of dying if we can all be together. Beside the caricatures of him and Mary drawn by Sue, remember that caricature here means cartoons were drawn by Sue daughter, helps his determination and optimism to grow many folds. And this was the time when he decided to continue with his efforts to save themselves. The positive outlook of the children infuses positivity in the narrator. He rigorously calculates their position and finally asks Larry to steer a course of 185 degrees, though he had lost all hope by then. He did not show it and optimistically told Larry that they would spot the island by about 5 p.m. Unfortunately, because of his efforts only, their struggle and optimism pays off, and they managed to find LA Amsterdam by evening, that island for which they were looking for. Now the next question is given, that what lessons do we learn from such hazardous experiences when we are face to face with death? So all of you must be knowing. So if we talk about such experiences, it teaches us the potential that courage, perseverance and tolerance hold. It explains how one must react in the direst of the situation. Means whatever the situation may be, we should not lose hope. We should try for the solution, because you must be knowing, whenever the problem is there, the solution is with us before that. So we must try for the solution. It teaches us that one must never lose hope and try to find reasons to stay positive in the face of adversity. And the most important thing, that whenever the difficult situation, most of the people, if we talk about, they are going to lose hope. But what you have to do here, one must try her best to remain calm and composed and understand the power of unity and teamwork. Now the another part of the chapter is thinking about language. All of you keep your textbook open only, and within the textbook only, in front of your questions where it is given, you need to write down the answers with your pencil quickly. In this chapter we have come across words like gale and storm in the account. Here are two more words for storm, typhoon and cyclone. So how many words does your language have for storm in your own language? In your regional language also you can write down it. The answer may vary from one student to another, so write down the answer on your own, each and every one quickly. You can take the help of your parents for asking this, or if you know the answer, so that's well and good, that in your own language, in your any of the regional language, what you are going to call it. Like in Hindi, if we talk about the storm is known as, it can be taken as Aandhi or Tufan. You must be saying that nowadays the rainy season is going on, so these words you can use. Either you can say Aandhi and Tufan for the same term. The next one, the third one is given, catamaran is a kind of boat. Do you know which Indian language this word is derived from? Kindly refer your dictionary, all of you, quickly. Find out the meaning of that. So here I have taken the image of the catamaran, and this term has been derived from Tamil word, that is Kattumaran. So you can see the image of this boat. Next one is, have you heard Annie Boatman's song? What kind of emotion do these songs usually express? So all of you have to attempt this answer on your own. Clear? You people will do it. You people are going to do it on your own. just recall or take the help from your parents or elder brother or sister. They are going to help you out in this. Now the another part in your textbook is given working with words. So the first one is given, the following words used in the text as ship terminology are also commonly used in another sense. In what context would you use the other meaning? The knot, stern, boom, hatch, anchor. Knot here, if we talk about, can be taken as a interlacing, twinning, looping, etc., or a group of persons. Stern, if we talk about, the different meaning can be firm, strict, uncompromising, harsh, hard, etc. here. Boom, if we talk about, can be taken for deep, prolonged, resonant sound, or to progress or flourish, or to hit hard. Hatch, if we talk about, it is used to bring forth, to produce, derive, concord, to draw, cut, or engrave lines. Anchor, if we talk about, can be used a person or thing that can be relied upon for support, or it can be taken as host of an event. So kindly refer your dictionary for finding the different meanings of these words given in your textbook. Now in the last one, the following are the meaning listed in the dictionary against the phrase take on. In which meaning is it used in the third paragraph of the account? Take on, here take on, STH has been taken as something, to begin to have a particular quality or appearance, to assume something. Take SB on, SB taken for somebody, to employ, to engage, to accept as one's opponent in a game, contest or conflict. Take SB or STH on, somebody or something, to decide to do, to allow, to enter, for example a bus, in a plane or a ship, or to take something or somebody on board. So in your question it has been asked that in which meaning it is used in the third paragraph of the account. So in third paragraph in lines, we took on 2 crewmen to help us tackle roughest seas. The word took on suggests to take somebody on, that is to employ or engage somebody. Kindly refer your textbook for that, you will get to know. Took on here has been taken for to take somebody. Okay, this question number 2 I missed. Now just let's go through this. The following 3 compound words end in ship. What does each of them mean? Airship, flagship and lightship. These 3 terms are given here and we need to find out the meaning of these words. So all of you are going to refer your dictionary for that. Quickly find out the meaning, and I know Nikhil is always ready with the dictionary, so it will be easier for him to find out the word, to find out the meaning. Rest of you also quickly find it out. The first word is given airship. It is a self-propelled, lighter than air aircraft with the means of controlling the direction of the flight. Flagship, if we talk about, it is a ship carrying the flag officer or the commander of a fleet, squadron. It displays the officer's flag. Lightship, if we talk about, it refers to a ship anchored in a specific location, flashing a very bright light for the guidance of ship, as in avoiding any dangerous areas. So I hope all of you are clear with the question answers that we have discussed today, and I hope during this session wherever I asked you, you people have noted down the things, you have written it in your textbook. The notes of this chapter will be shared with you people. You have to note it down in neat and clean handwriting. Again, I would like to suggest you that whenever you are coming for your live classes, please make sure that you are entering with your full name, and the class and section must be there. Otherwise, you know very well the attendance will not be marked. Now take care all of you. Thank you.